So in this example, we're asked to determine, well, I'm sorry, first of all, we're given that the delivery service calculation to the cost of a route based on the number of deliveries in a day is represented by this equation that C of x equals to 0.7x squared minus 10x plus 400. So the question is asking us to determine how many deliveries should be made in order to minimize, again, the cost of this route. So since this is a quadratic equation where the value of a is a positive number, that means that we're going to create a parabola that opens upwards, and the vertex is going to be the lowest point. So since x represents the number of deliveries, asking in this part right here, how many deliveries need to be represented, we're looking for the x value to the vertex. Now, since Desmos graphs these equations and automatically identifies the vertex, again, as you see right here, I have that right there, I can use that number there, and I know already that the x value will be 7.14286. But that, unfortunately, is just an approximation value and not the exact number itself. And because the homework is asking for the exact answer, I can rely on this decimal value there. And if I try to get the fraction equivalency so I can be accurate in terms of the exact value, this is not the decimal value that we're looking for, because even though it's going to be really close, okay, let me write this as x equals, so I could draw a vertical line. Okay, it looks like it's crossing again the vertex, but when I zoom in, I notice that this point of intersection and the actual location of the vertex are not in the exact same place. Okay, so it's off just by a little, and I have to really zoom in order to see it, which I don't think is going to be close enough. Okay, so I can't rely on that value. So let's go on how to find that number, the actual decimal equivalency of this, by using again the formula. So without using again the graph of this thing automatically, how do we find again the location of the vertex, the x value of the vertex? Well, to do that, we're simply going to use the formula that helps us find the axis of symmetry, which is the equation x equals negative b divided by 2a. And the value of a and b come from, again, the equation, the quadratic equation, where this value is the a value and the b value is this value of negative 10. So substituting in those values, we're going to get that x, let me do this in black, x equals negative b, so negative 10 divided by 2 times our a value. So 10 divided by, you know what, let me just plug it into decimals. So divide negative 10, 2 times 0.7. We get that, which is 50 over 7. So you see, even though, again, I try to graph this line, this vertical line, x equals to the 7.14286. There it goes. And it looks like it's crossing again through the vertex. It's off just so slightly. And if we look at the decimal equivalency of this decimal, now look at it again with what the actual decimal value is, 50 over 7. It's really close in terms of approximations. Yeah, it's really close to that. But it's not, again, accurate. Okay, we're missing a lot of other values to be as accurate as possible. So we're going to use this decimal, or better, the fraction 50 over 7, to represent, again, how many deliveries. So they need to make 50 over 7 deliveries, which you can, in this scenario, doesn't make quite sense, because how you make 50 over 7 deliveries. But again, we want to be, in this example, use the actual value. Now, what is the minimum value going to be? Well, to find the minimum value, now that I know where the x value is, the minimum value is going to be the y value of the vertex, which is then simply calculated by plugging in and replacing the x value from the answer from the previous one, the x value that we got up here. So since we know that the x value of the vertex is this, we'll use that x value as the x value to this equation, and that's going to give us the y value of the vertex. 50 over 7 squared minus 10 times 50 over 7 plus the 400. And let's use decimals just to do the calculation a lot faster. Now, because I have the function labeled again as f of x, I don't have to do it by hand. I don't have to, I'm going to do it by hand, but I'll show you again the shortcut right now. So 50 divided by 7, let's raise that to the second power. I don't need the parentheses inside there. Okay, not that it made much of a difference. And then plus the 400. We get a total of 2,550. Now, instead of doing this, because I labeled again this function already as f of x, I could have just done this as well, f of 50 divided by 7 instead of, oh, I forgot to put the parentheses. 50 divided by 7 instead of doing it again manually, just doing it at one time again in the parentheses for the f, I get the exact same value, the 2550 over 7. So again, up to you on how you want to do it. If you want to manually plug it in or do what I did on this entry line number 5. So there is your answer. Okay. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I appreciate you watching.